Welcome to the weekend vid. Starting with the SPY, we're going to see 322 week potentially. Looks like it's opening relatively flat, at least on the futures to start that. Still an inside year, but 2 going 3 month for the outside month. Qs. 322 week potentially for the outside month, and still inside year. Dow Jones. 3-3 on the week, so that's a nice little broad information you got there. Question is, do we stay outside of that next week or not? Closer to a rev strat on Monday, so be aware of that, but still 2 down green month, still inside a year. IDBM closer to the 322 week. It is rev stratting the month potentially, still very much an inside year stuck to start the year. As far as setups are concerned, a lot of things will look like the futures with the news last week. So rev strats, we'll have 2 of them, not many. ALC, potentially the 122 soft rev strat above 84.8. Still very much an inside year, but some nice PMG with Rivian. Actually, we're going to remove that, but let me see. I'm going to remove that from the list, but Amazon. The 322 weeks. See Amazon closer to 322 with a momentum hammer day to cause it with some of the chips. AVGO closer to the 322 with a momentum hammer inside day to cause it. Closer to 2 up month and year for the domino. Day into week, into month, into quarter and year. We also have other chips like NVIDIA closer to the 2-2 week inside day. Already hit its magnitude on the month though, so it could turn into a choppy mess in there. We got SMH. You're going to see closer to the 2-2-2 week momentum hammer day, which would confirm an inside month and confirm an inside quarter potentially. If we go to now in the tech, closer to 322, no daily signal, maybe outside month, still inside quarter, inside year. You got pivot machine gun. So potentially those like 125, 130 calls could be a good buy for a little lotto. Palantir, closer to the 322 to take out 8006 and cause an outside month, still inside quarter, inside year. BMY, interesting one. Inside 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, the poke down hammer counter shooter week to cause a rev strat month. No daily signal. You could say on a 2-day chart, you'd have the 2 down, the 2 up, the 2 down, the 2 up above this. 56.63. And coming off the bottom of its quarterly triangle. Also in the healthcare's GSK. Same kind of look. You can see many months stuck in here, about 2. 322 hammer counter shooter to reclaim last month's range for a rev strat month potentially. Also reclaiming, I believe, the quarter and last year's lows. So it could turn into the 3-3 year if they wanted to firm things up anytime above here. 33.6. It's a good one for the small account guys to mess around with. Then we got some nice triangles. PGR 3322. It is closer to a 2 down day, so we'll see what comes of it. Still inside year, inside year at this point, but potentially bigger triangle in there, progressive. And we do know financials, 3-3 last week, potentially still rev strat month. So we still have that to go after in the financials. And that tells you a few things. Not quite Bank of America, maybe off an inside day, trigger the month. Citigroup, it's already well on its way. We still got some month left. So 3 last week, see if it gets better. Morgan Stanley, the inside month and up is to exhaustion risk. But 3-3 last week. CGS 3-3 last week, also inside month. And we will look at regional banks, not quite, but they are 2 going 3, reconfirming that for now. We will see another pretty nice triangle in there, COHR. You can see the poke down on the week. We got a daily basis. You see a bigger triangle in there like so. So we're coming back through that. Potential 322 week above 99.14 for an outside month. AAOI, another 322, and this one will have the day to trigger the week. 22 day triggers 22 week, maybe negate the month, still inside years, so you can expect reversals. With ALAB, 322 inside day, 212 reversal to trigger a 322 week, and you'll see the triangles are going to be a little bit less clear in here, but it's looking like that. If we go to Philip Morris, it's going to be in your staples, potentially a 322. Oops, wrong tool. To cause pivot machine gun back through here for an outside month. 3, then 2 months inside, reclaiming that scenario 3. So you'd have a magnitude up into here, 134 for the swingers. And that also tells you staples. XLP was one of the weaker ones last week, closes 2 down in green, potentially a 2-2. It is weaker though, so we're gonna be aware of that. If it opens 2 down on the day Monday, it could just go back to last week's lows. But we got a lot of inside weeks in there. Procter & Gamble, you see the big old triangle, inside week at the bottom of the range. If we go to Pepsi, inside week near the bottom of the range. So if you're looking at your your broadening lines in here, it's coming right off the bottom. You see they've been selling it, so maybe they want to try and firm it up. Tells you things, maybe Coca-Cola, which was a little stronger last week, rev stratting the month, so a little better than Pepsi. A lot of inside years there still, but MO, you'll see the inside week has been going down, hasn't quite made the new low yet. So, you know, either of these turn into reversals, reconfirming the market, or rev strats if things were to go into some profit taking. But you're going to have Colgate, also inside week. A little bit of a shooter day in here, though. They do open it weaker. It is still an inside month and down in force. So if things do weaken up in here, we could go after it. 88.19. If we go to KMB, more staples, inside week down in here. Maybe turns into a 2-2 day, still 2 down month in red, still inside year, and I believe on the quarter. It's a 2 down at this point, so we'd prefer it down, right? It's just inside week with the rest of the staples. And then last one, KVUE staples, 3-1 week. So again, a little closer to a 2-2 back down, which would reconfirm a quarterly and cause an inside weekend down off a 2-2-2 day. So if things are weak, we can go after them. If they're strong, these will reconfirm the market as the laggards. And then we have a few shooters on the bearish side of things. FICO. So whole market recovered last week. There's your outside shooter, which would confirm 2-2 shooter quarter off the highs. So maybe they have some issues in there. FICO. If you go to DKNG, closer to the shooter week back down, below 38.61, which would reconfirm a 3-2-2 month, maybe trigger a 2-2-2 quarter if they're going to have some issues in there. In your triangle, you can see it looks like this. Hasn't made lower lows yet, but that tells us it should. We go to Zoom. Whole market recovers last week. Zoom is momentum shooter week. Below that, confirming an inside month down reversal. And if we zoom it out a bit, do it on a monthly basis, you see the triangle in here, the poke down, the poke up, inside month back down. So maybe Zoom has some issues. Then JBHT and the shipping companies, the outside week shooter, did have a gapper, so it's more of a gapper name here, but we will see what comes of it. Still an inside month, so if it fails, could go 3-3, and if it doesn't, then 3-2 expansion. This mother bar, 165.5, we'd want to take out first, then maybe the quarter, 162, and maybe we take out last year's lows with all that, causing some issues in JBHT. And then last one on there, ELF. See a little bit of a shooter week pivot machine gun, which would trigger a 3-2-2 quarter or monthly to the downside below 121.52. So that is all we've got for the weekend vid this week. Biggest thing is we want to see where the most twos are next week. And if you are in stats, the last thing I can add in here is we are monitoring PTLO, something we had a Friday night or afternoon, but 3-2-2 month PTLO above 1153. And it's going to have the daily rev strats to try and reconfirm that PTLO. So above that for the stats guys in there. But that's all I've got. Have a good trading week, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow night's nightly vid.